Welcome to Rustic Umbrella and thank you for becoming a vendor. In this video I want to show you how to actually get your products up on Rustic Umbrella so that you're selling sooner rather than later. When you filled out the vendor application and when you talked with your vendor specialist, you should have been approved to become a vendor and received an email explaining how to log in. You go to rusticumbrella.com/admin and put in your username and password and you'll be taken to the dashboard of your Rustic Umbrella vendor portal. Now, there's a lot of information that's on this back end, but we're just going to focus in on one part of it, and that's on this left-hand side. If you look over on that main menu, we're going to look under Catalog, under Products. This is where you'll go to import a product and to put all the information you need to really get a product up on our website. The way you do this, for example, in this area, I don't actually have any products showing right now, but this is where you'd see all of your products listed out. But right now, I'm going to click on Insert to put our first product on for this particular vendor. Now, there are 6 main tabs that we're going to go through that will give you options to put just about anything you need to be able to make that product listed successfully. But first, let me explain that if for whatever reason while you're doing this process you need to get out of the system or go do something different, make sure that you filled out the fields that have this red mark next to it. That indicates that it's required, and once you have those in place and you click Save, you can always come back and add to it. Now, I'll give a little bit of a caveat about that. Every time you do change a listing like this and then submit it to be approved, it automatically submit it to be approved. It will have to be approved by the vendor specialist before it actually displays. So you want to make sure that you're not making changes while your product is actually listed and going and up for sale. Let's get in and actually do our first product here. So let's do our test product. I type in my product title, and to show you where that's going to be displayed, I'm going to go over to Rustic Umbrella, click on a product, and you'll see that the Fun Family Finger Puppets, that is my product title. And then if I scroll down here, I'll see my product description. One other thing I'm going to show you while I'm here that will come into play is this product code right here, Family Fingers Puppets. I'll show you what that has to do, but it's a code that you can choose for this specific product. Now popping back over here, again, I have my product title. Now I can go to my description right here. I've got some text that I've copied, and most of you will be taking your text from other online places that you're selling your website or on your personal website or selling it somewhere else online. You'll usually just come over here, click inside this area and hit paste. But one thing I want to make you aware of is this is an editor that looks at the HTML and allows you to use HTML tags. You can see that by clicking on source, so if those of you that are really savvy with HTML, you can come in here and make some changes you'd like to do it however you'd like. We do have some limitations. We don't want it to be too crazy, but you can see that this one actually came in with some HTML tags. So how do you prevent that HTML coming over from just copying it regularly from a website? I'll show you how to do that. You're going to click back out of source and hit my undo button right here and click back inside my description. And instead of just doing paste like I normally would, I'm going to actually come up here to my edit menu, and most browsers have this as an option. I'm going to paste and match style. Now what that does is it just basically puts the text in there. Go back over to my source and you'll see it's just basically text. There's no HTML tags going along with this. So the editor will allow you to do a lot of different changes to this, whatever you'd like. You get your typical formatting of bold, underline, italics, doing some bullets, those types of things. Also, you can link and add images. If you're going to embed a YouTube video, which we highly recommend, or a Vimeo video, grab the source code from those applications from YouTube or Vimeo and come over to your source and actually paste in that HTML text that you'll need. But that will be very helpful for your site. That's pretty much for the general tab, and we're going to go over to data. And this is where we put in our model number. Now this is basically a way that our system references that product and makes that product unique. So remember on this Fun Family Fingers Puppet, how they did Family Fingers Puppet, that's what they chose for their product code, or in this case what our model number would be. One thing that I recommend a lot of our vendors do is create a model number and then put a -1 next to it. That's helpful if you're going to list this product multiple times, maybe sell out for this week and then go 6 months later do it again, or next year do it again. That way you can change the version of it from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, and that way it can be unique in its own. You can come back and look in your statistics to see how this specific model did or how this specific version at this time did. There's not much you can do with the status right now. It's always pending approval for you, but you will see it be updated to enabled, which means it's approved when it actually comes to that point. Price. This is the regular price. So with my particular item, I normally sell it for $40, but I'm going to be giving a discount of down to $20. So I'm going to just type in 40 right there. Then the quantity is how many products I have set aside to sell on Rustic Umbrella. How many can I commit to Rustic Umbrella to sell so that if I sell out, I'm not scrambling to find product. In this case, I have 100. The best way to look at this is your product or package that you're sending out. If you are selling a group package, maybe it's 4 or 5 items, you want to look at this as, well, this is 100 packages or groups of items. Because right down here, the next option is what's going to be forced to be ordered by the customer. In this case, just one. I want them to buy just one item at a time. Of course, they can buy more, but this will be one of the 100. The way this comes into play, and I have another video that will explain this a bit better, but let's say you have 10 items that you're selling at once, or 10 options of that item, excuse me. It's one listing, but you have 10 options, like maybe 10 different colors. And you want to set up a listing where they can pick 2 of the 10 colors. Well, you could set this to say, well, I have 100 of each item, so I have 1,000 products, and I want people to buy 2 at a time. That way, you're looking at your total items rather than packages, and you're making them purchase 2 and choose 2 of those items, and that way they'll have 2 options they can pick. A little bit confusing, but that's the best description I can give you right now. Down at the bottom, you've got your dimensions, your weight. This comes in useful, and I'd recommend this be your final product dimensions that you're shipping out. This becomes useful when you are working with an outside shipping company like Shipping Easy, which we recommend. This information will go out in your CSV file. Next, the vendor tab. There's not much that you have to do here, but I do recommend putting in your product cost and shipping cost. So in this case, I'm going to put $7 and my shipping cost is $2, so it totals up to $9. This is a feature that we're going to implement in the future that will help you look at your profitability as you sell your products. So it's not implemented yet, unfortunately, but that will be something you'll see in the future. Over on option, this is where you can add options for your product. So in my case, I'm selling a jacket and I have different colors of jacket. So I just type in color, I don't hit enter or do anything different, and this automatically pops up below. And this is something that we have created from Rustic Umbrella that has just about every color you can think of. So I can add in my options. I'm going to add in my different colors. I have 4 different color options I'm going to put in here, and I'm just going to choose black, blue, the first top ones that are here, and gold. Kind of weird colors for my jackets, but oh well. What's really nice about this is it allows our customers to purchase the type they want, but also protects you so that you are only listing the quantity, the stock that you have. So like I said with this one, I have 100 items. Let me change this back here. I have 100 items total, and my options are going to be 25 each, because that's what I purchased. I have 25 each of each color. That way, if everybody loves black and I sell all of my 25 of black, then that option gets taken away and they can no longer purchase the black, but they can purchase the blue, camel, and gold. I also have the option of doing a price difference. If for whatever reason a color or a variation of your product costs a little bit extra, you can add that price. It's defaulted to the plus sign, so I can add, this is going to be $2.50 extra, $2.50, or I can say it's going to be less. Say this one's cheaper for $5 for whatever reason. You can indicate that and it updates in the shopping cart. Same with weight. In this case, you can change the weight if there's a slight difference. So that is options. I'm sure you'll have your own options that you're interested in listing. Work with your vendor specialist to get that set up and watch our other videos about options and how to work those better. But this is the basic explanation I can give you right here. Not lastly, but the next section is special. This is very important. This is what really helps, is a key part of our website, is that we do offer a special. It's a discount. I click the add special icon and I bring up and I say, well, my product is normally selling for $40, but I'm selling it for $20, and I put that there. You can put the start and end date if you'd like, but your vendor specialist will update this once you've been put on the schedule, so you don't necessarily need to worry about getting that listed, but this will just put it as a price discount. This also allows you to do multiple discounts if you'd like. You can set a discount for the first couple of days of your listing to be at 25% off or whatever, and then do a deeper discount of 50 or 60% off in the last part of the week to try to liquidate your inventory. That it gives you a great option for doing that. You just add another special and you choose the dates appropriately so that when one ends, the next one picks up. Then you set the priority saying this one's the first one, so if that's still in existence, in other words, if they overlap dates for whatever reason, this will be the first one that will be offered, and then this will be the second one. Just doing it in sequential order of 0 being the first and 1 being the second. Lastly, images. We try to make this very easy for you to upload. You have two options. You can click on Add from Computer. I'm just going to click on my coats right here, select them all, and if I were to hit choose, it would automatically just throw them in here. But one other option that you have is, instead of doing that, I can open up and actually see my file on my computer. Oops, right here. And I can just drag them. As soon as I drag it over here, it says drop files, upload here. Just put those in place and it will add those. It takes it just a minute depending on how big your files are. Add those to the system, and voila. You can then choose what will be your default image. For example, I want this one to be my main image that they'll see. And I'm also going to indicate that by the sort order, and I highly recommend that you do this. Again, it's sequential order, so 0 being the first one, and then 1 being next, 2 being after that, and 3 being after that. So then I can kind of dictate how these images will be listed and what order the viewer will look at them. Now all I have to do is hit save, and I have then submitted my item to be reviewed by my vendor specialist and to be approved and be listed on Rustic Umbrella. This is a really great tool for you to come back and then look at all of your items. And just a couple side notes that I highly recommend that you use as great features is, for whatever reason, if this product does really well, in a couple months I want to sell it again, I can really easily relist that by checking this box right here and going up to copy. And that will create another copy here that I can then just jump in, change the model number under data to the next number, number 4, click save, and now I have identical in its details, and I can update the details, of course, the price and the quantities and such, but I then have a different model number that I can research and see that they're very similar, but they're slightly different. So that's very helpful. The other thing I recommend too is if you've done an item and you're done with it, you're no longer going to be submitting that again to sell for whatever reason, I recommend clicking on this and hitting delete after it's been sitting there. That way that you can keep this area clean for you. That's just about it. If you have any questions, talk to your vendor specialist and we'll be happy to answer them for you.